Hi friends. Two things can happen at once. A couple of weekends ago, a community that I belong to and that many of you do too spent a weekend learning about and raising money for nonprofits and also, making memes about nightmare furbies and working with a few thousand people to accomplish a goal of doing kind things. Well, that's not something that I've experienced a lot lately. So I sat down to bottle up that glow inside a video script to tell you how special it felt to have a shared purpose with all of you, how much hope it gave me at a time when so little can be shared. I opened up a blank Google Doc one afternoon at that gray, transparent seam between afternoon and evening to squeeze a few last drops of light out of my memory. I set my hands on the keyboard and I reflexively opened a new tab and typed in twitter.com. It was the second day of the snowstorm in Texas, and my feed was full of Texans posting videos of icicles forming inside their bedrooms or water gushing from their burst pipes into already dark and frozen homes. And non-Texans were offering up tips on how to layer clothes and insulate windows and drive on icy roads, things that, while nice, couldn't possibly mean anything if your living room is actively converting itself into an ice skating rink and your government doesn't seem to all that much give a shit. God, I got so angry. People were living in an infrastructure catastrophe wrapped inside of a climate disaster sandwiched between a pandemic and a financial crisis, and they got nothing but cruelty from the systems that should have protected them. My anger was compounded by the book that I was reading, A Paradise Built in Hell by Rebecca Solnit. I'd bought my dad a copy for Christmas and, I accidentally bought 2 copies, and so we formed a little long-distance book club as a way to share an experience, even though we haven't been able to see each other in more than a year. And most of the book was a hopeful look at how, when unexpected disasters hit, shaking down the structures and divisions of everyday life, people help each other, and in doing so can form strong communities that they maybe never had before, and they find joy in that experience of caring for each other together. That's what most people do. And that's what people did in Texas, taking in neighbors without power, checking in on each other, sharing meals and warm clothes and water and supplies where they could. But even though this happens every place that humans suffer, there's still a subset of people, usually people with power, who imagine that in disaster it'll just become the full purge, or they detach, they hoard resources, they try to keep people from forming these alternative systems of care. And in doing so, they create a whole second disaster that is often longer lasting than the first. Does that sound like anything you have experienced lately? I couldn't help but see that cruelty at every moment in Texas. It was the opposite of the joy that I had just shared with many of you during the Project for Awesome. That was caring, not like charity in the sense that here we are, the haves, who are sharing our largesse with the have-nots, who can offer us nothing in return, but in the sense of a shared experience, that we're in community, that my joy is yours, my suffering is yours, my liberation is bound up with yours. So there are many things to share, like money and attention and knowledge and creativity and talent and humor, and all of us has something to offer each other. But in Texas, we saw cruelty born out of this stubborn individualism of the state government. Oh, we're exceptional. We don't need to be on the national grid. We don't need to follow the same regulations. We don't need to share an experience because some people, often people with power, believe that some of us deserve better and some of us deserve less. And that is its own kind of disaster. And it's predictable and preventable and happens over and over again, all the time. That's what made me feel such rage, because building a government is supposed to be an experience we share. I've long believed that participating in politics and being civically engaged is my expression of care for the people around me. I still don't know how to deal with the cruelty that these systems can inflict. But I do know you. I know you know how to care. I saw it 2 weeks ago when you met my friends Anthony and Mike, who are building Black leadership in my neighborhood, and you said, "Sounds cool. How can I help?" when you hung out with me and my 2 giant tubs of Gatorade that were supposed to be laundry detergent to raise money on a live stream. I know you because every week I show up being gross and sincere on the internet, and you share your own stories. You share that experience with me. You know caring. So tell me in comments how you're finding ways to care for your communities in the midst of all this cruelty, and how all of us who are sharing these, 5 to 7 minutes together can be one of those communities. How can we care for each other? If you like this video, you can click the notification bell, or you could send it to a friend, or you could join the Radish Collective, my community of Patreon supporters who make these videos possible. Oh, and since so many of you are new here and joined me for my postcards, welcome, and let me know where could be a place, or an idea, or a feeling, or an experience. Where would you like me to send you a postcard from next? All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.